The first time I met Patti was at a women's conference, and I actually knew she was going to be there, and that was one of the main factors in deciding to attend, because when I went into education, everybody said, "Do you know Patti Schock? Do you know Patti Schock?" And so I thought, I've just got to meet this woman who is sort of defining hospitality and meetings industry education.
I think she's been just a person to look up to because she's worked on the standards within the industry. She's worked at partnering with organizations and students, giving back to the younger generation. So I've used her as a model in that respect.
Patti is, she's vivacious. She's a learner as well as a teacher, and she's someone who cares passionately. I know you wanted one word for this. I can't do Patti in one word.
Patti has made an impact on me personally and professionally in so many ways. Personally, she's a great friend. She's been a mentor for me for more than the past 10 years. Every little thing I try to involve her because she always gives me a new perspective, new ideas, things that I would never think of, and she does the same for everybody at the school. She's such a caring and generous person.
She's one of the first ones to jump in and try anything. And I'm like that as well. We like to go in and try it and test it out, and anything that I see that comes out that's new, different, unique, that might have an angle for our industry in one way or another, or even outside of our industry for our personal lives, she's the first person I contact.
Well, I got started in the industry because I grew up in a restaurant family. My family owned a big restaurant in my hometown of Oakland, California. And I started working there when I was like 15 or 16. And I actually didn't start college till I was 30. I was a late bloomer. So I got my bachelor's degree, and I did so well they offered me a fellowship to work on a master's degree. And I figured if I stopped, I would never go back. So I went straight through and got a bachelor's and a master's. And then I had overqualified myself for all of the hotel management training programs by having a master's. So I started looking at educational opportunities.
Patti is an author of 5 books on catering and marketing to restaurants, and so she's a true professional, but she has a very, very deep understanding and she about the business, but also cares about her students. And one of the cool things that Patti did when she was at UNLV is she was an early adopter to online learning. And being in the hospitality community in Las Vegas, it's a 24-hour business. So for students to be able to earn their credits and be able to work full-time, they needed an online solution. And Patti was one of the very first professors to jump onto that online bandwagon.
You know, she's young at heart, and she cares about the learning process.
She's taught thousands of people through the decades, and she really engages the students inside and outside of the classroom. Her lectures and classes are never boring. She brings in practical examples, and then outside of the class, she takes each student and really mentors them, helps them get into the industry, and you can really see that in the LinkedIn and all the social media things she's involved in the blogs.
And it goes down to everything. Even when we go out to dinner, we're both incredibly picky. She's, you know, you come to Las Vegas and you go to any restaurant, any hotel in Las Vegas, and it's like walking around with Elvis. Everybody comes out, everybody knows her. There's students that come out of the woodwork, and it's one of the most wonderful things about coming to Vegas for me is coming and hanging out with my friend Patti Schock, Elvis Presley.
There's so few people who truly can span decades and continue to be respected and continue to have the standard of excellence that I think that's what we all aspire to be. And at the end of our career, that's what we want to be. And I think she's done that successfully.
You know, one of the funny things she does with her classes, I don't know if she still does it, but she used to, is she would hide extra credit points in the links in her online courses. So the students had incentive to go click on every single link because they never knew where an extra credit point might be hiding. And it was some tricks like that to engage the students that I really learned from Patti.
I always consider myself having one foot in the industry and one foot in academia. But my main thing is working with students and getting students hands-on experience. You can't teach this industry totally out of a book. We teach them as much as we can. I tell my female students especially that you need to get a thick skin because they're going to hear words out in the industry that's just part of the industry. And if they can't handle it, if they can't handle hearing the Teamsters hollering on the trade show floor, they're not going to make it in this industry.
Patti's legacy is going to be someone who continued to work in the academic field, but also connected with the industry and professionals. And she's able to connect on a one-on-one level. But I think, again, to be able to do that over decades at a high level of excellence, I think is going to be the lasting impression.
I don't think we're done. I think she's got a ton of things still ahead of her to deal with, and we're coming into so many new, wonderful technologies and new platforms, and I don't even think that necessarily we've seen the best of her yet still.
I think that her induction to me means that we have made a giant leap, perhaps, to bring in and understand who the faculty are and to ensure that they get the recognition that she's getting through the CIC induction into the Hall of Leaders, that others should eventually as well.
And this is the night for her. This is the night that she is able to shine, that she realizes that people really do care about her, that her accomplishments and all her hard work over the decades mean something.
I cannot imagine anybody that's more deserving of being in the Hall of Leaders than Patti Schock.
We at NACE and the whole NACE family, as well as the rest of the industry members, were so excited to have nominated and to have Patti receive this honor that is well deserved. We're so happy for her, and to be able to recognize someone of her stature within the industry is really, really exciting.
You know, I'm so happy for Patti, and I'm so proud of Patti, and I'm so proud of our industry for recognizing her as a leader. You know, educators often feel like the unsung heroes of the industry, I think, but this shows that the industry respects education as much as we value the industry, so I'm really happy for Patti.
Thank you for all of the students that you've educated. Thank you for challenging the industry. Thank you for being such a wonderful, wonderful mentor to thousands upon thousands of grads. And thank you for being a friend. And thank you for helping Terry when you all were getting NACE put together. It's one of our most vibrant chapters. You deserve this honor, and I am so proud of you.
It's almost indescribable to explain, because the honor is such a big honor that it's hard to put your arms around it and say something that doesn't sound pedestrian, because the honor is so huge. It's magnificent. It's fabulous. It's incredible.
One last thing, Patti. On behalf of the 44 UNLV alumni at the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, UNLV, go, fight, win.
A quote by Sandra Day O'Connor, where she says, "None of us achieves anything alone. We're all the sum total of all the webs that have, created our life. All the different people that have influenced us. That's what we are. That's who we are."